Now let's talk about, the current modern employees when they are joining a job. The term ESOPs have become very popular in salary negotiation. So almost every single person who is watching this podcast today is having some amount of ESOPs in their name. And we also hear stories about Grove becoming IPO and a lot of employees becoming crorepati's overnight. I think even Zepto IPO is coming and all the employees of Zepto are now seeing how much money they will make.
True.
But what is the reality of ESOPs from a taxation point of view?
So let me give you a practical example. Let's say somebody is joining your company, 1% club. You are offering them ESOP. Okay. Typically, this will vest over 3-4 years.
Correct.
Okay. That's called a vesting period. There is no taxation at the time of vesting because you are giving an option to buy that ESOP. But let's say now you are near the IPO. Okay. Now, all this vested option, somebody is exercising. Okay, why I'm using this term? Because this is the ESOP term, okay? So this is when it is vested, there is no taxation. But when you are exercising ESOP, you have to pay tax as per your slab rate. Let me give an example. Okay, let's say fast forward, let's say fast forward 3-4 years down the line when the 1% club IPO is near. Okay, somebody got an ESOP and now they are exercising this ESOP. Let's say the value of ESOP, fair market value of ESOP at that point of time is 500 rupees. Okay. And you are giving them just for 10 rupees because they are their employee. They are your employee. Okay. Now, they will have to pay tax on 490 rupees because 500 rupees is the price of fair market value of that 1% club share and 10 rupees is they are paying. So, practically 490 is the benefit they are getting because they are employee. Okay. Now, they have to pay tax on this 490 rupees. This can be as high as 39% tax. So let's say somebody is getting 2 crore rupees of worth of ESOP.
Okay.
And they are exercising on 2 crore. Roughly they will pay 40% tax, 39% tax. Okay. And that also before even they exercise.
Before they even get the shares.
Get the shares. If I want that shares in my demat,
I have to pay the tax first.
39% tax.
But why is it like that? Why the government does
Right.
this?
Because Sharan, at that time when I'm exercising, okay, only at that point of the time it is considered that I am now owning that capital asset.
No, why can't I first get the shares first, then pay the tax?
Okay. So in that case, it is something like your salary. When you give a salary to your employee, you deduct the TDS first. This is the same. This is called salary. This is called a profit in lieu of salary. So you are giving instead of a salary or along with a salary or as a benefit. So this is how the taxation works. So when you are exercising, you pay 40% tax. 39 to 40% depending upon your tax slab. And as I told you, because of surcharge, most people are becoming crorepati and paying 39% tax. Again, fast forward. You are ringing bell in NSC. Imagine that, Sharan. Okay. Now, IPO got listed at 1,000 rupees. Bumper gain. 500 worth of FMV listed at 1,000.
Okay.
Somebody exercised at 500 on 490 rupees, paid tax, and now selling at 1,000 rupees.
Again, they have to pay that.
Again, they have to pay tax because now this is a capital gain. But the purchase price for them is 500 now, not 10 rupees. Because on 490, I've already paid the tax. So there are not double taxation. It's a 2 times I pay tax on 2 different incidents.
Got it.
First is as a salary and second as a capital gain. But now, Sharan, how you exercise and how you get out of that ESOP at both level, you can plan your taxes. How it is possible. Again, let me give you an example, okay? We have many clients who are in CrowdStrike, Amazon, NVIDIA and all that thing. These are already listed. So you exercise this share when the market price is lesser. Because of that, let's say if for example, this same shares of 1% club, if I would have exercised at 300 and not at 500, I will pay tax on 300, Sharan, and not 500.
Achha.
And on your exercise, the tax slab is higher. I have to pay 39%. Right? So this is the first planning.
But the issue with that is I don't know when the company will go IPO also, no?
True. So again, this is for something where you have an option or company is already listed.
Okay.
That is
and the company is already listed.
Or listed. That's why I gave an example of NVIDIA, CrowdStrike, Amazon, because now people are getting ESPP, RSUs and all that thing. So the first planning happens when you exercise, that can make or break. Why? Because Sharan, I have seen many prospects who comes to us. they are already falling in surcharge because they are exercising shares. So let's say your salary is 1 crore. You exercise only 50 lakh this year. You can also do in parts. So that's the first planning. Second planning. Then that's the biggest, and you can actually pay zero tax instead of paying that capital gain of 15%, Sharan.
Okay.
Capital gain would not be 12.5%
Okay.
because you will have to pay surcharge here also. So the capital gain tax is 14.95%. This many people are not aware. Why? Because there is a maximum 15% surcharge applicable on your capital gain because your income is higher than 2 crore. Now, so if you don't want to pay that 15% tax, you buy the house. So let's say even if your gain of 5 crore rupees, okay, you can buy the house and you can pay zero tax. That's section 54F. So that's why you're seeing that in Bangalore and all that thing.
Real estate boom is
happening. And because from Flipkart to now, many people are coming with this exit in the IPO. The first thing most of the people are doing is buying a house. Because up to 10 crore, you will not pay any tax. So this is when, like you rightly said, you buy a house because you save a huge amount
because you have no other option. You can save up to 40%
right.
tax.
Right. But Sharan, for that, somebody has to plan for next 5, 7, 8 years. And because if I already have more than one house, then I cannot do that. So if you want to take benefit of this section, ideally you should not have more than one house in your name.
So basically you should not have any. You should have only one house.
One house.
Then
maximum.
You can do this again.
They can do again, right. So this is how it works.
Now let's talk about something which a lot of people keep asking me. How to use HUF to save taxes. Right, it's become very popular on social media. For the first time I made a reel on this was in 2021.
Wow.
Right, from then till now, everybody is still asking, HUF kya hai? How do I save taxes on HUF? Now, as somebody who's been doing this, I'm assuming for some of your clients.
Many of our clients, right.
Can you tell me how to exactly implement creating a HUF and what is the benefit of doing this to save additional taxes for me and my family?
Okay. So Sharan, two big things. Because you are going to get married, as you said, in near future.
Yeah.
Okay. The moment you are married, your HUF is in existence. If you are Hindu, Jain, Buddha, or Sikh, once you are married, your HUF is already there. You just need to go and register. And when I say register, you need to have a PAN card and a bank account, and your HUF is in place.
Okay.
But a caveat. This HUF can only be used for a certain purpose. Because for HUF, to be an HUF and a separate assessee for income tax, you need one child also. So you have to wait for a few more years after you get married, Sharan.
So without having a kid, I cannot have an HUF.
Right. So many people don't know this. And I told you, you can have an HUF, Sharan, but only can be used when you get assets from your family. Let's say your father is transferring a house to you, or let's say your father is transferring their portfolio to you. That can be transferred in Sharan's HUF. Okay? Even if you don't have a child. But let's say you want to do a business out of your HUF. You want to invest on your own from your HUF. That does not have any legal identity as an HUF because you don't have a child. This 99% of the people are not aware. Second biggest myth around, because people has already created. Let's say they have a child or they don't have a child. What they do? Let's say Nitesh Buddhadev HUF. Nitesh Buddhadev and Nitesh Buddhadev HUF. I have a PAN card, I have registered. Now, what most people are doing? I put 10 lakh from me to HUF bank account and invest into mutual fund or FD. At the time of transferring, when I'm transferring to my HUF, there would be no tax to HUF. But once the HUF invest into stocks, mutual funds, bonds, anywhere, income, whatever it received from all this investment would be clubbed in my hand because I am a karta, or let's say my wife or my child cannot transfer any money to HUF because that's not the purpose of HUF. HUF can function as a business. Okay, so how to the business? The next thing comes how I get the capital. You can get the capital from a loan or you receive some gift into HUF up to a certain amount, or the best way that my HUF gets property instead of my name into the HUF's name. I get portfolio, family portfolio in the HUF name. Why? Because now I have a Nitesh Buddhadev. On that I have a business income, professional income, and Nitesh Buddhadev HUF where I have a real estate income which I got from my family and all that thing. This is how one need to take care of that. So HUF can be a good tax saving.
But basically, HUF is good for people who have a rich dad or mom. So that when they transfer the money to you, it can go to the HUF.
Right.
Because if you yourself put the money in that, then it is not considered
Right.
for tax saving
True.
purposes.
Or you have to plan it in a such a way that is fruitful. So there are many people who are doing business in the name of HUF. That is valid.
Like proper business.
Proper business.
But most people are creating HUF not to do business. They're doing it for doing, tax saving. Just for
so
tax
that's
saving.
tax evasion or tax avoidance, Sharan. They are not planning it well and they cannot use the HUF. But there are proper way to use the HUF if you plan it well. Even you are creating for yourself. But it takes a long term planning.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Perfect. Glad you made it till here. If this gave you even one idea to improve your finances, send it to a friend. Helping them might just make you the smartest person in their group chat. And don't miss the full episode on Finance with Sharan. There's a lot more where this came from.